Hello, everybody. It's me, Becky. I'm here for a live work stream. I have some things to do, and it's 1:45 on Monday, and I'm finally at my rest time of the day when I've gotten most of my morning things done. Actually, I got all my morning things done. I've been a good girl this morning, and I just made myself a cup of coffee, and I'm getting ready to go through some things that I sourced this weekend to sell on eBay and Poshmark. So let's jump right in. If we're new to getting to know each other, hello, my name is Becky. I'm a full-time reseller on most of the major platforms, with Poshmark and eBay being my main two. I have to say, Mercari, I list almost everything I list on eBay. I also list on Mercari, and Mercari has woken up for me. Of course, it's fourth quarter, so I hope it's woken up for everybody. But I'm really impressed with Mercari. Also, if you guys have heard me share it before, Mercari lets you do a promotion, 10 items a day. You can promote and discount the prices on those items. And for those reasons, because I'm kind of limited to 10 a day, you can do as many as you want, but I only do the 10 a day because that like bumps them up in the algorithm. And so most of my items end up being listed for higher on Mercari because I never get around to lowering the price on them. So when I get a Mercari sale, I usually do the happy dance. One, because the fees that they charge are much less. So that's always a good positive for me. And the second thing is that, as I mentioned, sometimes I haven't gotten those, I haven't dropped the pricing on those. And so I'm like, oh, I get a higher price sale. So I always love seeing that. And then in addition to selling my own things, and that's what I have sourced things on my own. I went to a brand new thrift shop, and brand new to me and brand new in general. So this was exciting for me, but I'm also a consignment seller. So that means in addition to selling my own things, I also sell for a list of, I think it's now set at 32 different consignment clients. Although I just got a new one, but I haven't picked up her things yet. I'll get them next weekend. And so I sell their items as well. So that's me, and that's what I'm working on today. So bust a move. Hello, how are you? Have we spoken before? I feel like I've seen your name somewhere. It's good to meet you. I am a reseller of a little bit of everything. I consider myself an everything seller. So that means I sell hard goods as well as clothing, but most of what I have here today is clothing. So bust a move. Are you a reseller, or are you just someone hanging out? All is welcome, by the way. I'm just curious. I always like to get to know people. All right, I'm pulling up my tracker. And if you guys remember, on one of my recent lives, I mentioned that I started a brand new spreadsheet for myself. And I'm treating myself, the items that I list for my own business, just like I would those items that I sell on consignment. And I'm liking this new system. So I just had to pull up my spreadsheet. You guys know the drill. You know I have to get myself situated. And I got it. Okay. And this one I'm going to write. So let me tell you about where I went to. It was called Prime Thrift. Now, I think that is Value Village. At least I thought it was Value Village, but it might have just been, let me see what the receipt says. Yeah, a Family Village Thrift. But then it says Value Village Center, and Value Village is a chain. But then this says Prime Thrift. I have to scratch this off. Look what they gave me. They gave me like a little coupon-y thing. So I have to see. I gotta see what I got. I don't know. I have 2 receipts here. Interesting. Okay. I need to think for a second how I want to do this. I always like to see what I paid for things, but I guess that doesn't really matter so much. Now that I have this new system, I'm kind of still working out some of the kinks. You live in a bus that you're turning into a home. How cool is that? Oh my gosh, that is really cool. Wow. Okay, so tell me about van life / bus life. That is cool. In Johnny's chat, I think I did. Tell me your name if you don't mind, or you can I'll just call you Bus if you don't want to share. I don't want anyone to share what they're not comfortable with. I did. It's nice to officially meet you again. So I have to ask, there is a show. So in the evenings, so I'm like a morning person. I wake up early. Simone, good to meet you. Not as early as Johnny. I know he's like an early bird. Let me just jump in real quick. First of all, Simone, we're a little bit new to getting to know each other. I'm all over the place. Hot mess express right here. But I interrupt myself all the time. But I wanted to mention they just started mowing my lawn the second that I was like, I'm sitting down to go live. And I have this really fixed window of time here. So I hope you can hear me, and I'm sorry for the lawn mowing. It's annoying. It'll probably take maybe a half an hour for them to, they do it like in sections, and then I hope the noise stops, so I apologize. Anyway, back to my story. So, and let me get listing and working while we're going, because otherwise I will just keep chatting. So here's what I'm going to do that's interesting, and I will not forget to tell the story, but I'm going to keep the price tags on my items. So there were a couple things that I wasn't sure if I wanted to. Well, I want my daughter to try them on first, and then if she doesn't want them, I wasn't sure if I wanted to resell them or not. So I'm going to leave tags on until I identify that, and then I might return some things. So this new, I'm going to interrupt myself 100 million times. This new place that I found, Simone, you might know Jennifer. Everybody knows Jennifer Hayes, who's in our chats. She lives very close to me. And I was on a live the other day, and she says, oh my gosh, have you been to this new thrift store? Oh my gosh, have you been to this thrift store? And I'm like, oh my gosh, Jennifer, like, how did I not know about them? So I just went to this one at her, I don't want to say it was her recommendation, because she didn't say whether it was good or bad. And I'm not sure if I had a good or bad experience. So I'm not throwing her under the bus, not your bus, but a bus. But I did try it out at her suggestion of this is like a new place. So I felt like the pricing was ridiculously high. I thought it was like crazy town. And there were coats in there for like $200 that were just basic. I mean, they weren't basic. They were like fur coats, but they weren't anything special. So I was like, what? Children's coats were like $20, $25, $30. And I mean, some of them were brands, but I was like, this is crazy. But they had blue tag, half price. Pink tag was 35% off, and they changed their tags on Monday. So I need to mark my calendar. Actually, let me write that down. Monday is tag day. Because I can't remember every thrift store's policy. So I think I found some good deals, but I'm not 100% on. After a while, I was like, I'm getting these things. I'm going to try some new brands out. Anyway, that's where I was at. You hear me clearly? Okay, thank you for confirming. They haven't, so they're like mowing in the front, and they haven't like come next to my window yet. So if they do, I'll just take a moment of silence. I took a college class once that was being recorded so that other people could watch it down the road. And so I was like the sample class. It was actually kind of awkward because the teacher we could ask questions, but the teacher, like I forget what it was, but she did something funny about how she was answering the questions that we had, like, because they didn't want that going on the recorded video. Although it's kind of like, well, maybe this is everyone's questions, but that's neither here nor there. Anyhow, this train would come by every single class at a certain time. And so when the train would go by, she'd be teaching, and then she'd just go like this. And she would just stand there. It was actually kind of awkward. It was like an awkward moment. And it was like a long train too. And then she would pick back up. Okay. So anyway, back to my story. I list a lot of times at night. It's usually because I haven't black lace dress. It's usually because look how pretty this is. It's just, it actually is just like a basic dress, but it's a size 3X, and it was a really pretty cut for a plus size dress. And I feel like people, if for people who are plus size, like sometimes it can be hard to find things that are figure flattering. So I just kind of I was like, I'm going to help a sister out. I'm going to get a pretty dress and a pretty cut. Anyhow, so I'm up late at night listing sometimes, and I get so tired because I'm also up early in the morning, truly burning the candle at both ends. And I watch shows to keep me awake while I'm listing. And there is this show, Simone. It's called, what is it called? It's called The Garden, Commune, or Cult. And I think it's on Discovery Channel. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's about these people who live on they live in two different places. They're kind of like relocating their commune, if you will, and they live out of their vehicles and tents and whatever. Like some of them are in teepees. It's very like free. Like whatever you want to put up in this land. You want to live in a yurt, you live in a yurt. You want to live in a teepee, you live in a teepee. You want to live in a van or whatever. And these people have these like tricked out buses and vans and stuff with these kitchens and fold out beds and things. And it's really cool. So if you haven't seen that show, I don't know if you have TV in your bus, but it to me is so fun. For you, you're probably like, yeah, that's my everyday. What do I want to watch a show about it? But for me, I'm just like, this is so awesome. I just enjoy watching these people in their vehicles and stuff. The show is really about this group of people who have made the choice to live in like an alternate lifestyle, and it's supposed to be this like free love, come and go. I'll show you what I got. This is a vintage dress. It's polyester, not silk, but it's size 16. And it just had a really cute pattern, and that's why I got it. I got this one based on some sellable qualities as opposed to, this is a brand that I know, and I like selling vintage. So the dynamic of these people who live on the land in this commune is really fascinating. And so the thing where it says commune or cult, they claim to be a commune, but some people feel like there's a leader and that it's cult-like. And I kind of feel like just because you have a leader doesn't make it a cult, in my humble opinion. But I guess if you have to be, I mean, like, I should probably look up, like Google, like what is the definition of a cult? I feel like a cult is something that you get into and like you get brainwashed and then you can't get out of it. But like you have to have some kind of that's a society, right? You have to have some kind of like societal norms to keep from there being anarchy, right? Some rules and ways to run things. And generally having a leader helps the flow of things. Sometimes if there's no direction and no leader, ideas just get talked about and then nothing happens, or there should be someone to look to as like a stronger personality, so that they all kind of fault this one person for being the leader. But I'm like, that's what happens naturally based on personality and need and whatever. It's kind of a cool, in my opinion, a cool experiment of like the human condition, you know, like the experience of living together as a society that's trying to do things differently and live differently, and how, you know, how they engage with each other and how they get along. I just think that's fascinating. So what this fabric is, baum wool. What is baum wool? BAUMWOLLE. BAUMWOLLE. Okay, I'm going to take a minute and research because I want to know. I watch a lot of YouTube about schoolie life. No TV yet, but soon. What is schoolie life? Should I know about this? Is this something new that I should be watching? Well, basically, I'm telling you what the show is about, so you can just cross that off your list and consider it watched, right? Baum wool. Oh, hold on. Let's see. I have to make this screen bigger. It's high quality cotton fabric. Okay. I thought it was linen. Baumwoll is German for cotton. So that's actually, it's funny, when I looked at this, I was like, oh, I think that's a different language. But anyway, this is a new with tags dress, and it retailed for, oh, I didn't say, I think it was 100 and something. It's Land's End, and look what a pretty pattern this is. And the comps were really good. So that is why I picked that up. And because it's new with tags, and because it was half off. So it was half off of $20, which I feel like the prices at this place are crazy, but we will see if I can turn crazy into money. I'm willing to pay up for stuff if it's worth it. I just didn't know if it was always worth it. And the prices were all over the place. Like it wasn't consistent like a Goodwill where it was all $9 for dresses or whatever. You had to check the price on every little thing. Oh, schoolie is wow. Okay, that's what they call people living in a bus. Okay, that's kind of cute. I like that. So you're a schoolie, Simone, huh? Oh, is it because you're in a school bus? Okay. I get it. Can't get none past me, man. It's interesting because, I mean, it is perhaps a school bus or a regular bus, but it doesn't mean, like, to me, you're not a student, you know, but that is cool. I guess there's all different kinds of converted buses. I'm thinking of this book. What book was it? There's like a young adult book. Here comes the lawnmower. Oh, I can't think of it. Oh, Coyote Sunrise. Have you heard of Coyote Sunrise? I loved that book. It's like it's young adult, so I read it like with my daughter, which we often read the same books, and it was so cute and such a tender story about a girl living with her dad in a school bus. But they didn't call themselves schoolies. That is really cool. Beautiful color. Yeah, isn't that a pretty dress? So this I got for myself. I'll show you the front, and it's just like a very basic dress. I live in dresses in the summertime, but I just really like the pattern. I thought it was very like Tory Burch, and I like the colors. So I got this for myself. The brand is I have to yell because they're blowing. Top it off. They're literally at my door. Hold on a second. Medium, pink, navy, Tory vibes. They come right up to my front door with the leaf blower and get rid of all the leaves. And that's what he's doing. He's literally at my front door. What's also funny to me is he's blowing while this other guy is mowing. Shouldn't he wait to blow until after the mow? Go figure. I guess schooly life, you don't have these problems. Never heard of it. You love vintage retro. So do I. So I have two people that are my consigners that I sell for that give me vintage or antiques. And some of them are just like the coolest finds. Sometimes I get stuff that I'm like, I don't even know what this is or what it's going to go for or what in the what. But it keeps me on my toes and it keeps things interesting. That's for sure. So, yeah, I didn't find, there wasn't a whole lot of vintage at this place. So, okay, so let me tell you about this place. It's brand new and it was fully stocked. And this is, again, the one that Jennifer Hayes told me about. And I was kind of like, where are they getting all their stuff from, right? If it's like fully stocked. And I have to assume that they're bringing it from other locations to get this one location started. And maybe they're getting some donations at this point. But again, the pricing was crazy, but I just couldn't get a feel for like, what is, you know, like let's say they source from Maryland or some of the surrounding areas. I look to see where the other local ones are, and they are like in the Maryland, Delaware area. Eventually, I think a thrift store kind of takes on a vibe for who's donating, who's shopping, like what kind of things they have. So I don't know if this is like a good sample size of what they will actually have, but I didn't see any vintage, which was unfortunate. Although some of those fur coats I think were vintage, and that one dress that I have. So, oh, hey, Ellen, how are you? Hope you had a good weekend and that you and your family are well. Do you and Bus Move know each other? Bus Move is Simone Allen, if you don't know each other. Alan is one of my newest subscribers that he and I have been chatting for a while now, and he lives in the UK. Simone, where are you out of? Simone lives in a bus, so she's telling me all about her cool journey of being a schoolie. Although, did you say you didn't tell me where you live? Simone, where are you? And where do you live? Like, do you go to RV sites? Do you find like a field somewhere? Like, do you have electric hookup? How does that all work? Oh no, honey hole has a different meaning in the UK. Oh dear. I'm assuming, I hope it's not something sexual. Maybe I won't call it that anymore. You're in Florida. Oh, I'm jealous of the warmth. Although we're kind of having a little bit of a heat wave up here. It's humid. It was rained, and the fog. Oh my gosh, the fog on Sunday was It was Saturday. The fog was crazy. Like I couldn't even see to drive. It was really crazy. Alan, so a honey hole, a honey hole can be I guess, a lot of different things here in the US, but for like thrifting, it's, it's your spot that's like got all the good stuff and all the good finds. But maybe I should refrain from using that term. Oh, well, that's embarrassing. Oh dear, I just closed my window. Simone, do you think I need to avoid using that term? Or correct, Becky. Okay, Ellen. Oh dear. Ellen, how's your wife doing? I hope she's better and that everything has settled down a little bit for you. You would be so proud of me. I've been so good about getting my goal. I kind of took a couple days to like rejigger my system. I think I mentioned that a couple weeks ago. And then we had family come, and then we had family leave, and when they come, they stay in the guest room, which is where I do my photography. And then we had more family come, and so I've had to like do quite a bit of stop starting, but since they've been gone, I've been on point. And today I photographed for like a long time, so I got some good photography in, so I can do my listings later this afternoon once the chicken nuggets are home from school. 2XL, and it has a thread. I'm so sorry about the noise. Is it super annoying that like you guys can't even listen and then I should jump off, or is it tolerable? Floral top with gold shoulder cut out. Sometimes you just can't win. Oh, hold on. Short sleeve shirt. Handkerchief. So where I live, my house, I'm like in a community. I'm in an HOA, and I get complimentary. I say it's complimentary, but it's included in my very steep HOA fees. Lawn service, but I don't get to pick which day they come or what time they come. So it wasn't even like I knew they were coming today. They usually come on Thursdays. So you just got your solar system, but until you have it installed, you have a generator. And is the generator, is it like a gas generator? I mean, gasoline, or is it like how does that work? Because that would be expensive, right? To have all your power through that. I can't even imagine a solar system. That sounds awesome. Do you have to have somebody install it, or like, do you just have to do it? Can you handle that on your own? My house, interesting fun fact that nobody really cares to know, but my house, I talk about it all the time, has a bunker, like a bomb shelter in the basement, but also the person who lived here was one of like the early adopters / creator of the solar panel. I don't know exactly how deep into that it is, but he was a professor of physics at the local university. And I have in my basement he left all this stuff behind. And like, I was cleaning things out. For my husband's birthday or Father's Day or something, I gave him the gift of an organized work, what is the word I'm looking for? Like a work area. I mean, it's not where he does work for his job, like for building things, his little workbench and stuff. And I found all this stuff. The guy just like left all these cabinets and left this stuff there. And he left some of these solar panel cells. And so I don't know if they're worth anything. You know me, I'll sell it. If I think I can get money out of it, I'll sell it. But it is kind of cool. And it's cool to see how clunky and big it was. Now I know it's a lot more streamlined, but I enjoyed that. I enjoyed kind of looking through and seeing what he was working on, and then thinking, gosh, it's come such a long way. It must have been, I guess, in the 90s or early 2000s. Oh, I feel like I can hear myself think again. Good riddance. No, I love the guys. I'm glad that they're doing my backyard, but good golly, it is noisy. Okay, where was I? Now that I can hear my thoughts again. Top with pin stripe sleeve panel. Okay. She's still ill, but getting better. And are you, Alan, you're her main caregiver, or do you have help? Do you have people coming to help you? Or does that fall on you? Because that can be a lot. Is she a good patient? I know when my husband is unwell, you'd never even know it. He just is like, I'm blasting through. I got this. Meanwhile, when I am unwell, I'm like, oh, everything hurts. I don't feel good. I do end up soldiering on because, we have kids and I feel like they don't allow you the time to like stay in bed or be unwell or any of that. But button, neck detail. Look how cute this neck is. 1 second. Okay. It has these cute little buttons right at the neckline. Just a flowy tunic top. So Simone, do you live alone in Florida, or do you have a whole family in your bus? And do you have a big bus or a short bus? I'm curious, thinking about my family, like how in the world would we get along in a bus, all like on top of each other? I guess you have to really enjoy your people. Not that I don't enjoy my people, but I think we'd have to set some rules. Like, for example, I forget what it was. It was some point over the weekend, not that it matters, but everybody in my family had a different electronic on, and they were like using it without headphones. I think I had my headphones in and I was like, I could barely even hear it. I was like, can we all, like, I think Mia had music on and she was singing and dancing, and Lana was like watching a video or something, and my husband had like the football game on us. It was just like, I was like, oh my gosh, how, like, what is happening right now? I feel like I'm in this insane asylum. So I can't imagine being on a bus. Although in Florida, I guess you could just like hop out and just, pop around. Well done, young lady. Oh, thank you, Alan. I think of you when I'm like, oh, I nailed it. I got my goal. This is awesome. Oh, good golly. That's right outside my window. Oh my goodness. It's a gas generator. I guess you have to be careful with that then too. I guess you leave it outside, right? You need a professional to install it. Is it crazy expensive to have it installed? And is the solar panel unit itself expensive? I know there was a government rebate type program for a while where I think it made it like net zero to have it. And then I guess if you can put money back on the grid, now you're cranking, right? Purple. Right. I'm so sorry about this noise. No. For keeping up the 30-day. Yeah, no, I figured that's what you were cheering me on for. So I have gotten a little bit more. I had to be really patient with myself for a while because I was getting like frustrated that I was staying up so late while I was, getting my listings going. And so I think I told you I'm down to 20 a day on the weekends. And then on the days that I am teaching my classes, because those, like, it just takes so much time out of my day. Like, it is a job, but it's a little bit different than having like a true 9 to 5. I'm a little bit more forgiving, a lot more forgiving of myself on those days too. Like if I hit 20 or 25, I'm like, okay, Becky, you're doing okay. Because I was stressing myself out for a while. Mostly, I just have to I take in so many things from my consigners. I just have to like get things going. I don't want things hanging out. I want the sales coming, obviously, but I want things moving and grooving. You take full care of her, but she's a trooper. Oh, that makes it easier that she's a good patient. But that's hard on you too. Alan, what are your hobbies? What do you do to pass the time other than, I know you're into your rock music. So there's that. I know you see your family quite often and you have a big extended family. So I'm sure you enjoy family time. Simone, you have a medium-sized bus with you and your 2 dogs. And how do they like it? They just must be living their best life out, like with nature and stuff. You got your panels used. Okay. Knew they would have cost $1,000. Yeah. Well, that's why I was asking. $1,000 for each panel, and you'd probably need, I mean, how many can you fit on a bus, right? Wow. So I actually live on a golf course. So the irony is, I was telling you guys that the guy who used to live here was somehow involved in the solar panels, inventing them or whatever. And he couldn't even use them because I live on a golf course. So like, you'd put up a solar panel and it would get like just smashed and whatever. That would not be a good idea. So we could have them here, like based on the HOA, but they would not hold up. So I watched, was it a documentary? I watched some kind of video that was talking about how we have technology to have solar powered roads. And basically what it would be was like, instead of having asphalt down on the roads, you'd be driving on these big solar, I guess they were like clipping together. I'm trying to move my head so that I'm not in the light here for you guys. So we'd be like driving on these big solar road situation panels, I guess, right? They clipped in to make it a road. They would make it so that they couldn't break, and you don't have to have potholes and the constant repair. They would, take the sunlight and invest it into the grid, right? So it's like making it's energy efficient. And also they would be able to have the lights and like the lines, you could move and shift the lanes because they'd have all like LED lights on them. And so the lanes would be clearly marked, but they could also heat up so that no ice would melt on them, and like all those things. So it became one of those infrastructure things where it's like, okay, they were crazy expensive and you basically only have to buy them once because they like never break, and they won't break down, they're more sturdy. But then like, do you spend the money on the front end, whatever. I just thought that was really cool that like solar panels could actually help us with our road situation. So, oh, Michael's here. How are you? Michael, do you know Simone, who is Bust a Move, and Alan? I feel like I think you know Alan. I don't know if you know Simone or not, depending on the size of your bus. Yeah, I guess that does matter. Watching YouTube when you're on, if you have the time, and of course, Nightwish. Oh, I'm your hobby, Alan. You're so sweet. They're glass hexagons that are solar, and they heat the road, so no ice. Oh, see, you know about this, Michael. So no ice, and the wiring runs along the side, so no more phone poles. Yeah, right. I know. Okay, so I can't remember because whatever documentary I saw was a while ago. Do they exist somewhere, or was this just like in some kind of like lab somewhere that somebody thought this was a good idea? That I'm glad I'm not the only one who knows about this. I sometimes watch some weird stuff. I get really uppity about like recycling and energy efficiency and like helping the planet. Not so much so that I'm like a crazy person about it. Like I don't let that limit my life, but I do really try to be thoughtful about that stuff. And then you guys know also about my stuff from like keeping things in America and making sure that we have good quality stuff and all that. So I must have been down one of those rabbit holes when I saw this whole thing. I do remember the hexagon thing and them clipping together and all that. And then like if something went wonky, they would just like unclip a panel and reclip it in, and kind of like the floor tiles or ceiling tiles. Like if one panel is broken, you boogie it on out and replace it. They do their under test in one city in the Midwest. Okay. All right, Simone, you got to get in that bus and tour the United States and figure out where they have these solar panel roads. Oh, that's awesome. How was everybody's weekend? What did you guys do this weekend? My weekend was it was hectic. Oh my gosh, we did so much this weekend, but it was fun. It was a nice weekend. I saw a lot of people. We did a lot of things, and I actually got some work done, which was good. We had my father-in-law was visiting, so that was a little bit busy. I'm sorry. I don't know if it annoyed you as much as it annoys me, but just having the lawnmower gone, it's like, this is supposed to be my Zen time, my coffee time. Corrupt. Okay. I am getting right through my list here, guys. This is good. Michael, what's your plan for your next live? Out of your 20 listings, oh, that's right. Yeah. Give me an update. You sold 6. Your 7-day total is $1,019.25. Oh my gosh, good weekend indeed. And what did you sell? What was it? That is awesome. Oh, so that all those 6 sold over the weekend? That's really good. I did not have a super great sales weekend. I mean, I made sales every day, but I was not, because I was running all over the place. I wasn't really like totally dialed in on. I usually do Fridays on Poshmark is closet clear out day, and I usually send people the closet clear out. Like if you do a certain thing with the pricing, it'll lower it. And I didn't really do that Friday, and it's also on Sunday. And because I didn't stop yesterday, I didn't get to really do that. So I was like, my Posh sales were off because my activity was off. Gee, kill the priest, right? Yes. Comics. Oh, so which were they, like crazy, rare, super comics, or did you just sell? Well, I guess you said you sold 6. Were they 6 like bundles, or were they just individual? Because those are some good comics. That's awesome. I was talking with a boy at one of this party I went to this weekend. And he was asking me all about these. He was like big into action figures, and he kept asking me about people. He's like, "Do you know Aquaman?" I was like, "Yes, I know Aquaman." And then, of course, he said like the basics. But then he was like, "Do you know this guy? Do you know that guy?" I think he kept trying to trip me up. I'm like, "I'm so sorry, I'm not your audience. I don't know what as much as I should." Individuals around $200 a piece. Oh my gosh! Wow. Oh, Michael, I'm so excited for you. That's really cool. And I know you were busy with your other job last week, so it sounds like you're cranking. You're on fire. This is the perfect time of year to be making money. So I'm happy for you. Where did you source your comic books from? Were they things that you had, or did you go out and find them? Oh, I'm getting distracted. I think I told you when I was out, I was like, I should look into comic books and learn what I need to know. I need to leave it to the professionals like you, because you know a thing. You know what else? While I was out at this new thrift store that I went to, I stumbled into. I do normally actually look at the men's section because I like selling men's, and I like finding some good, like more workwear type things, like some good pieces to sell in the men's section. Like I do enjoy that. But I was like, I actually went to the thrift store, one, because Jennifer had told me and I was interested in learning about it, but 2, because I needed to find a dance leotard for my daughter. You guys have probably heard me talk about dance leotards like 100 million times. I cannot find in a thrift store any dance leotards anywhere. I'm just going to have to buy it like on Poshmark or whatever. But I don't know why it's such a ridiculous feat. And that's, what brought me there. But anyway, I stumbled into the men's section, and there was all these graphic t-shirts that were like, I was like, oh, are these vintage tees or not? And then I started looking through, and then some of them were, was it Looney Tunes? No, what was it? I forget what it was, but I was like, oh, this could be, oh, no, that's what it was. It was Trolls, but it was like the old school Trolls, right? Like the retro ones. But it was like a newer shirt. So I was trying to identify. I was like, like I said, they obviously source things from somewhere because it's a brand new store. Hasn't really been open long enough to have thousands and thousands of pieces in it. Or maybe it has. I don't think so. But anyway, I think it was sourced from somewhere. So I was like, maybe I came, like I fell into the mother lode or something. And then they were all new. So I was like, Becky, stay in your lane. Stay with what you know. Stop trying to be everything. But I got excited for a minute. Same thing like comic books. No, these funds are going to pay off the last $1,500 of your mom's funeral. Oh my gosh. Some were for resale and some were from personal collection. Oh, wow. I'm sure she was celebrated well. And that's like so hard to be spending so much money on like funeral expenses. It's one of those things where it's like, it's just gotta be hard. It's gotta be hard. But at least you have some means to pay off the funds. Was that all on you, or did you have family who was helping out with that too? I know that's that can be like, it's like, an unexpected kind of expense that, thank goodness, as resellers, we can make up some of that money. I guess probably like with your other job too, do you have contracts or like, do you have control on the seasonality of your business? I know the other day you said it was like hot and heavy, like you got a lot of work that came through. Do you have some level of control on how much work you have? I mean, I guess you could reach out to clients, or is it just like when they come to you, then you get busy? That's one of the things I like about being in sales, because I have some control on my income. So if my roof goes, if my whatever, I can just hustle. I can get more listings up. I can source more. But then also I'm kind of at the mercy, of the market. Like first and second quarter, I know it's just going to be a little bit lighter, and that's just how it goes. But I can plan for that, right? You guys have heard me. I always talk about controlling the controllables. I used to be more of like a control person. And one of the things that I learned in life, it was when my babies were born, it was basically just like, you know what? Your life is no longer your own. Your children are always going to take priority, and they are going to have needs, and they will have like, blowouts or tantrums or whatever, and you just have to roll with it. And so I always say control the controllables so that you are prepared and you have the bandwidth for the things you can't control. But I have had to excuse myself of like, needing that sense of I can manage everything, or I can affect the outcome of everything. It's kind of been liberating to let that go. I feel like I've always been in sales, and I probably always will be in sales. And I think it's interesting for you as well, Michael, that you're into, I guess, would you consider your other job sales? I guess I don't know exactly enough about the details of what you do. Nice sales. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Porcelain Princess. Hey there. How's it going, TG? Do you know everybody? I feel like you know Michael. This is Alan, and Simone's in here. I think she's still here. Becky, vintage t-shirts have single stitching, if that helps. It does help me. And you know what, Alan? Like I know about the single stitching, and usually like the tags, obviously like the ones that I was seeing had the size and care information on the brand inked on the back. So those were newer. Whereas most of the vintage tees have like a cloth, or even sometimes like a paper tag. So I know like a little bit about that. Some of it you can just obviously tell. And, I know about like the union tags and stuff like that, and like the tags on the side. But yeah, there's so much still to learn. And I know the people who know it, they can just like quickly, like they could go hanger, and just blast through and like know what they're looking at. Michael, it's probably how you are with comic books. You're probably like you could just at a glance. But I was like, looking at this one. And then I was like, just Becky, stay in your lane. Go back to the women's section where, obviously because I wear clothing, women's clothing, I can identify much more because I'm literally like living in it. But it's a journey, isn't it? It takes a village too. So thank you, Ellen. I appreciate that. No, most was paid by insurance. Her total was $22,000 to me. What? Oh my gosh. Is that standard, or are you guys just ballers that you gave her like the funeral of the century? That is crazy town. And when you said insurance, you mean her medical? You mean medical bills, or like does insurance pay for funeral services? Wow. Oh my gosh, you just blew my mind. You have no control of your salary. Okay, gotcha. Well, then that's good in a sense. If there are seasonal ebbs and flows to the business, then you're a little bit more protected. You work from home and live well. That is good. That's really awesome. And I know you are doing your reselling out of your house now that you don't have your big warehouse situation anymore, right? Hello, just popping in to say hi. Hi, is it Janine or Mike, right? That's both of you guys. It's usually Janine, right? Hi, Janine. How are you? Do you know everybody in chat? Everybody, there's Janine. She's dumpster jumping beans. And she goes in and her husband's got to grab her feet. You're faster on clothing and glassware. You resell those items much longer than comics. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that. So you're faster with that. Yeah. I would say I think I'm just slow in general. Sometimes I'm just like, I just want to enjoy the process. And I'm not one of those resellers who's like, I have my photo system down to 30 seconds per item and I'm blasting through. I put on music, or I put on a book on tape, or I'm watching YouTube, and I'm not like a sloth or anything, but I am enjoying the process. And the second that it becomes very transactional, where I'm like having to flip through the clothing in the clothing store or stuff like that, I think that's the day I'll call it, because I don't want to feel like I'm a machine or like a cog in a wheel. I want to feel like I'm somewhat engaged in what I'm doing. And perhaps that's why I'm here on YouTube, because I'm needing the engagement. But that's just my personality type, I guess. Jean shorts. So I will mention that tomorrow, the reason I thought of it is I just bumped my foot into my basket. I have a laundry basket filled with things that I'm selling on the auction tomorrow on Johnny's channel, which is Cajun Roots Reseller. And I think, what time is my slot? Hang on, let me see. I'm going to try, if I can, I need to figure this out. So I am on tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for half an hour. I'll be selling live with Johnny and friends. So come and check it out if you want to laugh at me and see how, if you've ever seen me talk fast, then you'll see me talk really fast, because I have a lot that I want to try to get through. But what I'm going to try to do, and I need to sit and tinker and figure this out, is I think I can, on my YouTube channel, with all of my like 100 subscribers, right, put a little thing, like Johnny's thumbnail, to promote his live. So I have to figure out how to do that, how to promote something. Like I don't want to put a video up, right? I just want to put a little thing on YouTube. I want to put like a little ad or whatever. So I'm going to try to do that this afternoon if I can. He sent it over the weekend, the little thumbnail. So I'm going to have to, that's my next little thing to do. Your parents bought funeral insurance. Oh, how in the 60s? I didn't know that was a thing. Thankfully, I haven't really had to bury anybody to know, like, how does it all work? Wow. And she was buried in the National Cemetery on base. Oh, that's cool. Was she military then, or is that from your dad or her husband? Or she chose a powder blue chrome 1960s Cadillac. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, wow. Was your mom, did she have just like a lot of personality? That is really, really cool. Oh, hey, how's it going? Horizon Picks, you know everybody. I think you know everybody who's here hanging out. I don't know if you know Alan. Alan, there's Roy from Horizon Picks. And so some of the people in the chat right now all have been friends for years. They're my new friends, but they've all known each other for a long while. So feel free to all introduce yourselves. And hey, you guys, feel free to all drop your links and stuff so you can get to know each other if you don't know each other. In the UK, it costs an average of £4,000 or $3,200 for a funeral. And so then, Alan, does the government help out with that? Because they sure don't help here, right? Wow. Oh, that's crazy. Now, Becky, Horizon Picks is a comic master. So I have seen, and I have been so impressed. Like, you just know your stuff, right? And I was joking with, I was really joking with everybody that I need to stay in my own lane, because Michael knows comic books, which I didn't realize that you actually know some of the other stuff better, but I know nothing, like nothing. I'm like, oh, look at the pretty pictures. I mean, I know what I don't know. Like, I know that there's different years and different like gradings and stuff and all of that. I've sold a couple of Funko Pops, and through that, I've learned that, like, you know, if there's a little nick in the corner of a comic book or whatever, that, you know, changes the value. I'm currently selling Pokemon cards, and I have, I think, a rare-ish Pokemon card. It is a hollow, which stands for hologram, a hollow Halloween stamp. So it has like this little Halloween logo-y thing on there, which apparently increases its value because it makes it more rare. And forget what the power up or whatever it is. But so I apply some of that knowledge to what I assume I don't know about the comic book world. So there's that. Share his thumbnail on my community tab. Yeah, so the community tab, what's the point of the community tab on YouTube? Is it just meant to be like information, like it's like a bulletin board kind of a thing? Is that how I should think of it in my head? I have gone to his community tab and other people's community tabs, but I've not done a dang thing on my own community tab. And I keep threatening you guys that I'm going to make my very first, hold on, I'm getting distracted. I just realized I wasn't working. I was having too much. I'm going to make my very first actual non-live video. So you guys always get to enjoy me just jabbering on, but I don't have any non-live videos. So I decided that I want to go and make a recorded video that just basically says, hi, the reason you don't see any videos on my page, like the homepage is kind of empty, is because they're all under the live tab because I usually go live. So just kind of letting people know that that's my vibe, you know. But I have yet to do that. And I don't want to say I'm not nervous about doing like a recorded video. I just feel like I would probably overanalyze it. With me, I mean, when we're live like this, you get what you get. You get what you get and you don't get upset. Take me or leave me. This is me. But I feel like if I'm recording it somehow, I should like have something to say and know what I want to say and how I want to say it. So I need to give some forethought to that. Oh, you were cooking food. What were you making? TG, should I just call you TG or does everybody know your name and I just don't know it? And you don't feel obligated to share if you don't want to do that. Oh, everyone's saying hi, hi, hi. You need a wrench to drop your links. Oh, dang it. You know, okay, so here's the problem. Who in this chat has a wrench right now? Alan, do you have a wrench? Can you wrench everybody else? Oh, I think you need to have a master wrench to give other wrench privileges, right? Thanks for the feedback. I sell full-time and YouTube is definitely your favorite platform. Yeah, so do you sell full-time? Do you list your stuff too, Roy, or are you just mostly full-time selling live? Oh, see you later, Simone. Have a great day. I can't wait to chat with you more about your bus. And good luck with the solar panels if I don't talk to you right away. I'm excited. I'm really excited for you to be like fully energy independent, more than just the generator, but also like that gives you some opportunity to really go wherever, you know. That's cool. Been doing weekly sales for years. Stop in and subscribe to be part. Oh yeah, good. I'm glad you dropped. So Roy, did I wrench you? Thank you for dropping that in. Why do you have to be wrenched to do that? You have eBay and you've been on eBay since the 90s. Oh, you told me that. I think you told me that. I'm on StreamYard right now. So I'm not on YouTube. So I can't put the wrenches in. I can. Hold on a second. Becky, you can do this. You can do this. I'm not very quick about the whole thing because I never know where to go. So I go to my channel and then I can go to, there's like a thing that says like people or something, right? It's like easier if I was on, all right, hold on. If I pull up this video and then mute it. All right, hang on. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Let's see. Oh, put user in timeout. Okay. Add as moderator. All right, I'm wrenching you guys. Just be patient with me as I go through and do it. This is exciting. You guys are watching history. You can laugh at me. It's okay. You can laugh with me. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Now I have to maximize my screen because it keeps chopping off the functionality. So I can't see chats for a second. So hang tight. Okay. And let me know if I don't have everybody. Ta-da. Okay, I think I got everybody in the chat. Everybody check your status. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I should take my own advice. Once you get the hang of it, it's easy peasy. So I think what I need to start doing is to have YouTube up from the get-go and just be, oh, hang on, I just minimized something I need. Dang it. Okay. Have it up from the get-go so I can just jump in and do it that way. But I never remember to do that. You guys are giving me smiley faces. Thank you. You're making me feel good. Thank you for the support. You're shiny blue. Yay. I would make everybody blue. That doesn't bother me. I wish I didn't have to go in. I wish I could just unmoderate somebody or something like that. Tie, dye, bleach, sweatshirt. Okay, so I'm probably going to be on for like another 5 minutes, and then it's not even. I'm going to be on. I should get going because the girls are going to be home any second, and So you thought the noise from the lawnmowers was loud. When they get here, it's exciting, and especially if they've had drama on the bus or anything. Can I just tell you, I think the school bus alone is corrupting my children. Like the stuff that they tell me, I'm like, that happened on the bus? They were talking about what? They did what? Who told you about what? Oh my, it's remarkable. It is remarkable. I'm not going to share it on YouTube because it's pretty crazy, but there was a whole drama that happened at my kid's school last week. I guess it was 2 weeks ago now. And I was telling my friends, I went away this weekend with some of my girlfriends, and I was telling them about it. And they were like, I cannot believe that happened at your school. That is so crazy. What is happening right now? And then actually my friend's husband ended up coming home, and she was like, did you know about this? And he's like, that kind of stuff happened back in our day. It was just a different version of it. So, oh, all right. Yes. Let's wrap this up. Have an awesome week, folks, from Roy. What happened on the bus stays on the bus. Well, no, my children come home and they say, Mom, you're never going to believe what so-and-so said and blah, blah, blah. And I'm so glad that they share with me and that they feel comfortable enough that they can tell me what's going on. I wouldn't want them to be like keeping secrets or whatever. But when I hear about it, I'm like, oh, I was not a bus kid. I lived within walking distance of my high school and my elementary school. So I didn't have the bus, and I wasn't corrupted. I mean, I was corrupted, just not on the bus. So I'm like, my eyes get big when they tell me these stories. I'm like, oh my good golly. Anyway, on that note, we will leave it there. Thank you guys for chatting with me. I got an entire huge garbage bag full of things off of my to-do list. So that's great. Now I got to run laundry and all the things. And tomorrow I have more to do. So tomorrow I might come back on live, and maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow if I can do it in the morning before my live sale with Johnny and all of you guys. I hope I'll see you there cheering me on or laughing me on or whatever feels good. So it should be. I had so much fun the last time that I went on with two old guys, with Mark and Janice, his co-host. So I'm looking forward to more of the same. But anyway, thank you for chatting with me. Hope everybody has a really fun rest of the day. And I will talk to everybody soon when I. Bye, guys.